Opening address.
Honourable Prime Minister.
I welcome you all here today to the St Joseph's Parliamentary Club exhibit. Today you will see a small glimpse into what the Parliamentary Club does, what occurs both inside and outside of the Parliamentary Club sessions, and the educational value of them. Pride in our history, our diversity, our heritage, our multiculturalism, our rights, our community, our democracy, and has made me a better citizen. I'm more interested and aware about politics, and I am, more importantly, able to critically discern the political landscape of our country, of our community, and of our world. You, the students that sit here today, will be the future of this initiative, and that this club will give the young people of this world a voice to tell the world who we are and what we believe. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As many of you know, St Joseph's Catholic High School is currently in the midst of a landmark event, a momentous affair for the Parliamentary Club and for the civics education of our school. Our very first by-election, in conjunction with the first pen and paper ballot, St Joseph.
As the overview states, this bill is to allow mobile phones at school through the use of commission cards that will be organised and delivered to students.
Draw your attention to section 1 of the bill, which speaks of an interview process which will judge whether students are allowed to bring phones to school. I'd firstly like to ask you, how will reasons be judged as valid or invalid, as reasons may vary and be...
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Firstly, in response to the Minister for Electoral Matters comment, don't you think that it would be better if we had mobile phones being used in school? Wouldn't that reduce the amount of school bullying? Don't you think? Because that way, this way, if you let me finish. Thank you, Madam Speaker. This way, the mobile phones are being used in a secure, safe environment, which is being supervised by...
The bullying won't happen and it's under supervision, but are the teachers even allowed to look at the phones? How can you prove that the messages being sent aren't...
happens in the school? People bring them to school daily. I'm not accusing any member. I'm not accusing any member of Parliament, of course, but people bring them to school daily and they use them, and you can almost see the flurry of action as soon as the teacher walks past, with everybody shoving back in their pockets the teachers can't see. So what... Not that I've experienced that, of course, but...
Reviews. Firstly, I find this bill to be superfluous in the fact that these cards just seem like a pointless addition to the diary system.
I'd just like to propose that a committee be formed to rewrite this bill. And that we take a vote on it right now.
Just an update on our current initiative, which aims to increase electoral enrolment of our senior students or 17 or 18-year-olds.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. If Madam Speaker would allow, I would gladly open the second reading and debate on Bill number 5, the textbook bill.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would just like to say, in response to the Shadow Home Secretary's comment of our students going to want to wear a bag with an emblem on it, is it a question of fashion or is it a question of health?
Madam Speaker, at the last school assembly, I publicly announced the Article Prize Initiative. For those of you who didn't attend, such as our distinguished guests, I'll quickly run through what the initiative involves. Students have the opportunity to draw, paint or sketch any member of the staff in an attempt to bring forth that person's personality.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As Minister for the Environment, it is my duty to inform the Parliamentary Club about important environmental issues happening in our local area and the global community, which we can become part of. One such recent initiative is that of On Holy Ground, an ecological vision for Catholic education in New South Wales.
On behalf of the Parliament, I would like to congratulate Sergeant Jared Huseman for his overseas trip to celebrate an Anzac Day service. So congratulations.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As member of the Cabinet and a representative on the Parliamentary Inquiry into litter, I'd like to take the opportunity to outline the recommendations made in the inquiry's report. These are...
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I must say that this inquiry into littering is a marvellous effort all round. However, there are a couple of things that I would like to bring up.
And they were actually saying that they were very interested in this competition, but a lot of them were disturbed because they had to pay just staff members.
Unfortunately, thank you, Madam Speaker. Unfortunately, I have no power over the ability to stop people being disturbed or not.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Deputy PM. What has she done to promote the status of young women in our school?
Madam Speaker, is it not every session of Parliament that I get asked the exact same question? wanted to become Minister of Parliament, and I did it to promote women leadership, not so that I could be the attack of envious schoolgirls or jealous boys.
I have attempted and have tried my hardest to raise the status of females in this school and their representation in this parliamentary club. It is one of the most important things that our government needs to realise, and that women need to start getting in to politics much, much more. This is one of the other many facets of the parliamentary club, to raise the status of women in politics in Australia and in the school.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Honourable Prime Minister needs to open up his ears. I just stated that it was not a personal attack on the member, and we are not suggesting that women play a more, a lower role in Parliament or a higher role.
Madam Speaker, this is the second time you've stood up and said what you just said.
It's the second time that you and my words.
I would just like to say, isn't it obvious by just looking at our party what our Deputy Prime Minister has done for females in the school? Leader of the Opposition.
I am sick of constantly hearing about how many females that the PDP has. For goodness sake, it is not up to you to decide how many females you have in your party.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As most people know or are aware of, during our last session of Parliament, the Prime Minister, or the Honourable Prime Minister, not quite sure if they should be calling him that, considering the fact that he was given 4 warnings and that most disgracefully ejected. Madam Speaker, my colleagues and I have found this an absolutely disgraceful to step down from his position.
I'd just like to say, that's ridiculous. Point to opposition that in the Hansard of the 22nd of March, you will see that I am given 1 warning for nothing more than ooh. Okay, that's
Or you were saying that you were an elected leader, so how can you say that you're just a normal member of Parliament?
It'd be nice if you addressed the Speaker too. No. Like any member here, I have been elected